I need to tell you guys about the morning after one of the best days of my business at the time. I had just had a $50,000 day, and I woke up the next morning feeling horrible, like a complete fraud. I wasn't excited. I wasn't grateful. I wasn't celebrating. I was spiraling, like completely doubting myself, sitting in my own head, asking myself all these questions. And even though I had a $50,000 proof day sitting right there, I'm thinking to myself, who the hell am I, right? And here's what I want you to understand about that moment. The $50,000, money does not fix it. Money does not silence the voice. The results did not automatically produce belief inside of me, because mindset is not a reward you get when you hit a certain number. Mindset is work you do before the number even comes. If you cannot hold space for your power when you haven't made the money, when you do have the money, you're gonna spiral and fall apart. If you skip the work, if you're doing everything on the outside and nothing on the inside, the success will come, but you won't be able to hold it. And that is what this episode is all about. Welcome to Sold Out Seal School. I'm Trish. I'm a former labor and delivery nurse, a church girl, a homeschool mom of 7, and I am a founder of 2 7-figure businesses. So this episode, we're going to go somewhere that a lot of people won't take you, but we're going to talk about the internal work, the daily practice, the thing that actually determines whether you can build a business and sustain it through the hard seasons, through the lifing, through hormonal chaos, through the days when everything in you says you're not enough. So I want to take you guys back to a week. It was a really hard week before it was a good week, and then it was hard again. I was in the thick of perimenopause, and my hormones were freaking out of control. I was not sleeping, and my body just didn't feel like mine. Kind of like postpartum, y'all. I was showing up, doing the work, but everything really felt hard, and it was way harder than it should have been. I've never had such a time of where I've been in my own head. I was so foggy, I was heavy, I was sleepy, and I was off in a way that is so difficult to explain unless you've been there. So if you're a woman in this season, girl, I got you, because you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you're a younger woman who just had a baby and your hormones are all over the place, well, that's your version. So you know what I'm talking about. This is mine. That feeling of not quite being right in your body, not quite being able to trust your own thoughts, the brain fog, the being super sleepy, but not being able to sleep, and emotions that were showing up sideways right when I really, really needed to be steady. And that was the week I had a $50,000 day, which is like, can I stop for a moment and say how amazing that is? I don't take that for granted, just so you know. I used to make less than that in a year. So you would think that I would be like just over the moon with joy, right? But the next day I woke up and I spiraled, not celebrated, spiraled. And I had this voice in my head that was like, who the hell are you? Now, mind you guys, I was in a 27-year emotionally and mentally abusive relationship where I was made to feel really small, and I was made to feel that all the ways in which I was me was wrong. So if you've been listening to this for a while, you guys know I'm a believer. I love the Lord, but I spent many years being abused by authority in our church as well, who were threatened by strong women and made to feel like women should be quiet and meek and never speak and never lead and never teach. And I'm a speaker, I'm a teacher, I'm a leader. That's who God made me to be. And so everything about me felt wrong. So it's really easy for me to get in my head and hear that voice and his voice and those voices. So here I am, I'm spiraling, I'm thinking I'm not worthy. And I'm literally, it kind of chokes me up when I think of this, because when I left my ex, I had the most amazing therapists in the world, and I'm digressing a little. I cannot speak higher about being in therapy. Everyone should always be in therapy and have a therapist. But mine told me to write on a piece of paper, but I ended up buying this really pretty little chalkboard, like from TJ Maxx. And she told me to write, "You're worthy to be loved." And I don't even know where that is now, because I love myself now. and my husband loves me and my children love me and I know it now. But here I am back then spiraling and I knew I was spiraling. So I got a hold of my coach and here's what she did not say. She did not say, Trish, you just made 50,000. What is wrong with you? She did not lead with the material results. She walked me back through everything, where I came from, where I started when I started building Labor Nurse Mama and my coaching, where I had no tech skills and I had no clue how to freaking even post or use anything. Or, I started on Pinterest. I didn't even know how to get a pin on there. I didn't even really know what it was, right? I knew none of that. But yet I built a 7-figure business doing what I loved and impacting the women I love and I wanted to impact. And my goal was to change the birth culture one birth at a time. And I did that by figuring it out. And she reminded me all of that. And of course, I was worthy to teach others how to do that because I was showing up to help them do what I did and what I'm still doing. And she talked about the women that I help and the proof that was stacking up around me that I was just refusing to see in the moment. And it truly chokes me up because I really didn't expect to get this emotional right now recording this, but she didn't fix my mindset because of the money. She walked me back to the work that I'd already done and just reminded me that my work was real, even though I was feeling terrible at the moment. And that is what a coach does. And that's why I'm in a mastermind. And that's why I will always have a coach, because you cannot read the label from inside the bottle. And I personally don't trust a coach who doesn't have a coach. And some days you need someone on the outside to remind you of what is true. So here's a principle I need you to sit with today. Money. Making the money you're dreaming of does not change your mindset. You doing the work before the success does. If I had not done the work, I wouldn't have known what I needed to do in the moment when I was spiraling. So I want to say that again. Making the money you're dreaming of will not change your mindset. You doing the work before, during, that is what does. That is what will keep you stable. This is the lie that is keeping so many of you guys stuck in the external hustle while your internal foundation is crumbling. You're creating content, you're building funnels, you're launching offers, you're growing your following, and doing absolutely nothing to strengthen the mind that has to hold it all together. And a family and babies and partner and church friends and your parents. If you're older and you're going to have to then take care of your parents, like you may not know that yet, but you might. So maybe right now you're taking care of babies or you're taking care of parents and babies like I did. And if you do not strengthen your mind, you will not be able to hold it all together. So when the success comes, and it will come if you don't quit, I say that. I got here because I'm a never giver upper. When the success comes, you're not going to be able to hold it because the container was never built to hold it. And I see this pattern a lot. A woman hits her first 5-figure month and starts self-sabotaging. She starts questioning her offer. Should I change it? Should I add this? Should I do that? Should I show up more? Should I do this? Or someone has her best launch ever and wakes up the next day in a spiral instead of a celebration. It's not a weakness. It's what happens when the external outpaces the internal, when the results grow faster than the beliefs are supposed to support them. Now, I'm not saying the days are going to be easy because they're not. They're going to be hard. Life keeps lifing. But just like me, when I started to spiral, I had built a foundation of asking for help, reaching out. I had the people, the room around me. The women who build something that lasts, the ones who do not just hit the number, but get to keep it and grow it, they build the inside first. They don't wait until they feel worthy or ready, whether it's the mindset work, investing in their businesses, taking action. They do the work that creates it. And that builds the worthiness every single day before the results come. And that is a difference. So let me tell you what that work looks like for me, because for you, you get to do you. And I'm not going to give you a generic list of mindset tips. I'm going to tell you what I actually do. So every morning, first thing I do when I wake up is I get in the Word, I say some prayers, I do an EFT tapping. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's one of the most powerful tools that I found for releasing anxiety and fear that otherwise runs in the background. And I pray with the tapping. I add scripture into the tapping. My faith is the foundation of everything, and that truly is the only reason I'm here, and I will never apologize for that. I journal, not just thoughts. I write with intention. I process what's coming up. I get honest on the paper in a way that I don't always get honest out loud with myself or others when it comes to what I'm actually thinking, because I'm definitely lean into being a people pleaser. I anchor myself in something bigger than my business and bigger than my results and bigger than what the algorithm may say to me in the day. The other thing I do is I write down 5 to 10 things that I'm grateful for that haven't happened yet, things that I'm believing in. Before I ever had a $100,000 week, I wrote it down for a year every single day. Every single day. So I want you guys to practice that as well. I also try to move my body, and I'm being completely honest here because I don't like working out. It's the hardest thing. That's the thing I have the least diligence in, I guess. But I try to move my body every day. I need to do it better, and I'll just leave that there. Going back to the things I'm grateful for over 3 years, I've written down, I am grateful for our gorgeous house we custom built on rolling acres of beautiful land. And when I write that, I picture myself standing in the kitchen of that house. Like I can see it looking out over the rolling hills, and I feel the emotions that I feel in that. And what's really funny and weird, I guess, is that when I started picturing myself with that, I started picturing myself in an upgraded way that I dressed, which if you know me or you are in the medical field, like we tend to like to wear things that are like scrubs. And for me, I realized that part of my morning routine has to be getting up and getting dressed. So I would get dressed up a little. Well, I started upgrading my wardrobe. And in this vision I have of me standing in this house, and this is so weird. Like I've never said this out loud, even to Steve, which I tell him everything, but I have on these like flowy linen pants and like this nice little white shirt. And I'm holding this gorgeous coffee cup because I also love coffee cups. And I'm looking out with this look of peace on my face. Like, look what we've built. Look what we've done. Anyway, I'm descriptive. I'm descriptive. I've written that down for over a year. And like I said, I've written down for over a year. I'm grateful for my $100,000 week every single morning for a year, written it down, spoken over it, believed it. And like a couple weeks ago, I had my first $100,000 week. I can't even believe I get to say that, but it's not magical. It's not manifesting in the airy-fairy, weird way. This is what happens when you spend over a year programming your brain to believe something is possible. When you program your brain, when you rehearse the belief every single morning, it stops feeling like a wish and starts feeling like a fact. And you start taking the actions to get you there. The thing is, your identity will catch up to your goal before your bank account does. Your brain does not know the difference between what is happening and what you're vividly, consistently, emotionally imagining. Science has proven this. This isn't weird. And I have lived it out so many times, not in a magic woo-woo way. It's so real. So I want you to start writing down 10 goals every day as if they've already happened and be grateful for them. Say thank you before they arrive. Do it every morning. Do it when it feels stupid. Do it when nothing's happening. Do it on the hard hormone days when you can't remember why you started, and do it until it happens. So now I'm thankful for my $200,000 week. So keep tabs on that. All right. Now I want to talk to you about something that does not get counted as mindset work, but absolutely is. And that is up-leveling your skills. Every time a mastermind ends, I either renew or join another. Right now, I'm in 2. Sometimes I'm in 2. I've also been in 3 at a time, but each one that I choose has a specific outcome connected to a specific investment and connected to a specific belief that I belong in those rooms. I listen when I'm in the car. I listen to mindset podcasts. I do the work. I read business books. I do interviews with people who are where I want to go. And I'm always feeding my mind with evidence that what I want is possible and that women like me are doing it. So when I'm scrolling, which I don't do very often, if you're one of my clients, you know I'm not a big fan of that because I think it's a waste of our time. But if I am ever scrolling and I see someone who is succeeding in a way that I haven't yet, I don't get like weird about it. I'm like, hell yeah, if she can do it, I can do it. So anyway, if other women are doing it, it's evidence that you can too. It does not mean you can't. Now, 2 books that I 100% recommend that you listen to over and over again is Think and Grow Rich. Listen to it. Listen to it. I promise you, it's short, it's easy. I listen to it almost every month, again and again. And if I'm feeling in a spiral, I'll put on You're a Badass at Making Money, You're a Badass. But both of those I've listened to over and over again. And that is a mindset practice Confidence is not a feeling you wait for. It's a skill that you step into, that you build, and you build it the same way you build a muscle, which we all know I'm not good at, but whatever. It's through repetition, through exposure, through putting yourself in rooms that stretch you, through learning from people who have already done the thing that you're trying to do. Another thing I do is I go to in-person networking events and I get in the room with people who are freaking kicking ass, especially women. And every time I invest in coaching, I make a statement to my own brain. I am someone who takes this seriously and invests. I'm someone who invests in herself. I'm someone who's building something that is huge and bigger beyond myself. And that statement, made with money, made with time, made with commitment, shapes how I show up. It shapes how I pitch. It shapes how I hold the room. It shapes what I believe is possible. I do not want you guys to underestimate the mindset impact of investing in you. When you commit financially, that financial commitment is a declaration, and a declaration changes your identity if you let it. Now, again, this is your mindset. You go into a mastermind, you go into a coaching experience, you invest in your business and you're like, this better pan out. That's a bad mindset. You need to go into it like, I've invested, and if I get one thing that changes my business, that is going to change everything. One thing, right? If you let it and you don't find it. So there are some women who are in hard physical seasons right now, like I am. If you're in perimenopause or you just had a baby, I see you. I know your hormones make you question things. If your body does not feel like yours right now and you're trying to run a business inside chaos, I see you. So here's what I've learned. You cannot think your way out of a hormonal spiral or a life experience, but you can build systems strong enough to carry you through one. And that is another practice of mine, is having a team, having a content schedule. And my schedule for content does not depend on how I'm feeling. It doesn't depend if I'm feeling inspired. Having a structure that runs on the days when you can't. Having rituals that you have practiced so much that they become automatic. And that is what I mean when I tell my clients to act like a CEO. A CEO takes care of her body. She protects her sleep. She creates actual off days where she's completely not working. When she goes on vacation, she checks out. She's not working. She builds a business that bends when life gets hard instead of a business that breaks. And you're allowed. You're going to have to show up when you don't feel good. You're going to have to show up when your kids are being little turds. You're going to have to show up when you feel awful. You're going to build this in the messy middle. That's where it happens. You have to build the systems and rituals because the hard seasons come, because life keeps lifing. And when that spiral hits, and it will, I promise you, you need to already have stuff in place to catch you. So here's what I want you guys to walk away with today. The external work without the internal work is a house built on sand. And your selling strategy, your launch strategy, your experience, if you're creating an experience, a micro experience like I teach, means nothing if you don't believe you deserve it or deserve what you're asking for. And the people inside your containers will feel that energy. So I want you to do the internal work first. Do it daily. Do it on a 50K day and do it on a $0 day. Do it when your hormones are hijacking the stink out of you and your life is loud and nothing feels stable. I want you to do it when it feels amazing and everything's going right. And I want you to write down the things that have not yet happened. Say thank you for them. Feel them. Get all your senses involved. And I want you to build the rituals that keep you anchored when the feelings try to take over, because the feelings always have something to say. And the question is whether you built something strong enough that you can hear them and then keep moving forward. So your actions this week is to start your gratitude list of 10 things every morning. And I want the majority of them to be things that haven't happened yet. Write them down as if they're already done. Do it today, do it tomorrow, do it the day after, and don't stop. That list is not a nice idea. For me, it was a $100,000 week that I got to claim. And when we get our gorgeous new custom home built on rolling land, I'm going to let y'all know. So what is yours? What is it that you're waiting for? What is it that you want to claim today? If this episode hit you somewhere deep inside today, I want you to do me a couple favors. Number one, subscribe so you never miss another one. Share it with someone in your world who is building a business and needs to work on her mindset. And leave me a review. 2 minutes means everything. It helps other women find the show where they're going to get advice from someone who's doing the thing. I'm not just a coach coaching you how to build a business. I'm actually building a business right now outside of the coaching business. Come find me on Instagram at I am Trish Ware. there and tell me, what are you writing on your gratitude list? And let's celebrate together when it shows up. DM me. I want to speak it over you. And if you're ready to stop figuring this out alone and get into the room with a coach who has lived all of this, go to trishwarecoaching.com/apply and fill out an application. We'll have a conversation and let's get clear and get you on the right track. All right, friend, this is your cosmic slap on the booty for this week. Do the work, do it daily, and do it before success comes so that you're ready to hold it. Now, go sell your offer, because the more you sell, the more you sell. I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.